Yeah.
Okay, so significant figures, the reason why they're important. So I asked a question, you guys were supposed to answer this too. All right, the first question was, how long was this ruler? Anthony, if you had to give me a guess for how long this line is, and I'll zoom in some, just tell me what you think it would be. How long you think this line is? You can just give me a guess. You there, Anthony?
Yeah, 4 inches.
All right, so Anthony said 4 inches. Luis, what do you think?
Like 3 7/8 probably.
3 7/8. And then Kayla, what do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, take a guess. So I just want to
I don't know. Almost 4 inches.
All right, so Kayla says 4 inches. All right, so let's do one more. Justin, what do you think? How long?
3 7/8.
All right, 3 7/8. So we had some 3 7/8 and we had some 4s. All right, now if I ask you guys how long this one is, I'm gonna ask the same people. So Anthony, you're first, then Luis, then Kayla, then Justin. How long do you think this is? Let me just zoom in some more.
Like 3 7 inches, like how they said.
Okay, 3 7/8. Luis, what do you think?
It's 3 7/8.
3 7/8. Okay, Kayla?
Same thing.
Same thing. And Justin?
Same thing.
Same thing. All right, now my first question is, how are you guys getting 7/8? Because this isn't broken into eighths. That's my first question, right? If you have 7/8, isn't that like 7 out of 8? But this is, are you counting these? 1, 2, 3, 4, and skipping this one? 5, 6, 7, 8? What's this number? What do you guys think this is?
I was thinking 3.8.
Okay, Posey says 3.8. Anybody else? Mandy, what do you think?
3 9/10.
3 9/10. Okay, so 3 9/10, which is like 3.9, right? Because these are broken into tenths. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this would be 10, but this is the 4, right? All right, so Justin, what are you thinking now? Justin and Luis, what are you guys thinking?
3 9/10.
3 9/10. Luis?
What he said.
3 9/10. All right, you guys love fractions, because I would just say 3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 3.8 or 3.9. But if you guys want to use fractions, seems a little bit harder to me, but okay. All right, so when, as scientists, this is what we do. When we look at stuff like this, how many numbers we give tells me how precise an instrument is. Which one of these do you think, if I asked 100 people, the numbers would be closer on this one ruler or this ruler? Top or bottom?
Bottom.
The bottom one, okay? Because here people can get the number closer because they can read at least to this. And if I had some little lines in between those even smaller lines, people could get even closer. It's just like if I sent you to the store and you got your change back and they were like, your change is $18. And you're like, my change should be like $18.90. And they're like, $18.90, same thing. And you're like, that's almost another $1. Or if you were spending even more money and they were like, your change is $100. And you're like, I'm supposed to get $150 back or $151 back. And they're like, 100, 151, nah, you know, whatever. That's why significant figures are important. So let's go back to this now. How many significant figures are in the number 100? If you watch the video, what's the first thing you should ask yourself when you're trying to figure out sig figs? The first thing you should ask when you're looking at the number.
Does it have a decimal?
Does
Does it have
it?
a decimal? Fuck.
Yes. Does it have a decimal? That's the first thing you should ask yourself. If there's no decimal, you're starting on the right side. If there is a decimal, you're starting on the left side. And I'm going very surfacey because a lot of you guys didn't watch the video. So this is, hopefully you either take notes or you go back and watch the video. All right, so this one, is there a decimal or not? Yes or no? Everybody can answer this.
No.
No, you can't see a decimal, okay? So I should be starting on this side at the back of the number, okay? So where the question mark is basically. All right, and then after I determine if there's a decimal or not, the first thing I should be doing is looking for the non-zero number. What is a non-zero number?
Any number that's not 0.
Any number that's not, yeah, any number that's not 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? So if I'm starting over here on the right side, if you watched and you had the America, you're always moving inland. So if I move this way or I'm moving to the left, what's my first non-zero number? Going this way.
1.
1. So everything, so this 1 and anything after it, which there's nothing after it but words, is significant. So this is one significant figure. 1. Okay. All right. Number 2. Decimal or no?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, James. All right, so there is a decimal. All right, so now I'm starting on this side. So I'm starting right here where the blue is, okay? Still same thing, looking for my first non-zero number. Since I'm on this side, I'm starting here and going this way, okay? So I'm starting on the left, going towards the right because I'm at the Pacific Ocean and I'm moving towards land, all right? What's my first non-zero number you guys see?
5.
5. So that means once I hit the 5, everything after that is significant. So 5, 0, and 7 are significant. So that's 3 significant figures. Anytime you have these little zeros in the front, they do not count. They're not significant. I could get rid of them technically if I put it into scientific notation. These don't count, okay?
Okay, so when do you start from the back? Because
If
like on the question before, you started from the back. Why'd you do that?
Because there was no decimal on this one. There's no decimal
okay.
on this one. On this one, there is a decimal. If there's a decimal, you start from the left. If there's no decimal, you start from the right. All right, so let's look at the next one. Decimal, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, so am I starting from the left or the right?
The left.
Yes.
No.
The decimal is present and the Pacific Ocean, P&P, is on the left side of the United States, okay? So I'm starting on this side. What's my first non-zero number
3.
that you see? 3?
9.
Right, it's 9.
Oh.
Yes, the first non-zero number you see is the 9. So that means once you hit that 9, everything after that is significant. Now, tell me, even if you didn't know, it has to have at least how many significant digits? At least.
1.
If you were looking at this number, you didn't know anything besides the rule about non-zero numbers. How many significant figures does it absolutely have to have? At least what?
3.
At least 3. 9, 2, and 3 aren't zeros. So those are always significant. All right. So at minimum, you've got 3 because 9 is significant, 2 is significant, and 3 is significant. Anytime you have a 0 stuck in between 2 non-zero numbers, we call those sandwich zeros, they are always significant. So the only time we really have a question about it, first of all, is if it's a 0. And then secondly, like if they're in the back, it's like, maybe, maybe not. But if there's a decimal and there's a 0 in the back, it is significant. So this is 5 on this one. All right, number 4. This should be an easy one now. Nadi, how many significant digits you think?
4.
4. It's a 1, a 6, a 9, and a 9. No questions about it. They're all significant, okay? There's no zeros. Those are all significant. All right, on this one, Angel, decimal or no? Do you see a decimal or not?
I do.
You do. All right, great. So if you see a decimal, we're starting on the left side at the Pacific Ocean because the decimal is present. Present Pacific. Atlantic, absent. Okay, so this is present. All these zeros in the front, they don't mean anything. Okay, so at a minimum, how many significant figures would you have at a minimum?
2.
2, right? The 3 and the 2. And we already said these don't count because if we start on this side, the first non-zero number I see is this 3. So that means everything after that is significant. So it's just the 3 and the 2. All right. Number 6. Paul, decimal present or not?
Present.
Present. All right. So it's over here. We're starting on this side, the Pacific Ocean. All right. First non-zero number that you guys see. Anybody? You can answer, Paul, if you want.
1.
1. So that means everything after that is significant. 1, 0, 0, 4, and 0. Again, you know this 1 and this 4 have to be significant. That's at least 2. These zeros are sandwiched. So that's another 2. That's 4. And then because we have a decimal, this 0 is also significant. So that's 5. All right. Number 7. All right. Decimal or no? Elizabeth, do you see a decimal or not?
Yes, or no, I don't. I'm sorry.
No, you do not. Great. So if we don't see one, Ariane, what side we're starting on? Left side or the right side? Pacific or Atlantic?
Right.
Right side, the Atlantic Ocean, because it's absent, A and A. So then that means we're moving inland. We're on the Atlantic coast, right? So moving inland would be going this way. So what's the first non-zero number you guys see going this way? Going this way.
6.
The 6. So the 6 is significant and so is the 9. So this is 2 significant figures. All right. Number 8, at a minimum, how many significant digits do you guys see at a minimum? 2, the 3 and the 2. What do we call these zeros?
Sandwich.
They're sandwiched. Yes,
yeah.
they are sandwiched. So they count as well. So this, all 4 of these are significant. If you're looking at it, you don't have a decimal, you're on this side. So you start, the 2 is the first significant digit. So all of these count. So that's 4. All right, last question. This is probably the most missed one.
Hold on, Miss Payton.
Yes.
I know you said this earlier, but I just want to make sure I'm right. Because you said if there's a decimal and it end with 0, do you count that 0 or no?
If there is a decimal, well, number 9, here's a decimal,
Yeah.
yes? All right. So if there's a decimal, those zeros in the back count. Okay, so this is probably the trickiest one. If there's a decimal, we're gonna start over here. What's your first non-zero number?
4.
4. So that means all of these, because you're moving this way, because you started on this side, all of these are significant. So this is 5. Okay. So if you didn't watch the video is 9 minutes. It is very easy. And this is literally what I do in the video. Okay. So now that you've seen it here, this is everybody. Now that we've done it here, now if you watch the video as well, it should click. So let's talk about moving forward. All right. Let me zoom back out here. All right. So again, I do not want to put in a failing grade for anybody. So 1, please go check your Schoology. I won't see you guys for a week. So between now and next Wednesday, let me tell you what you need to do. Your homework is in the significant figures folder, okay? Math and significant figures. So now we're going to talk about what's our answer look like if we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing numbers, okay? It's 11 minutes. Please do not come back and tell me that from Wednesday today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that you do not have time to watch a 10-minute video. when you guys are complaining about 3-page papers and all this other stuff, okay? I'm trying so hard. Please do not make me regret not loading you guys up with work. The second thing is, okay, go check your Schoology grade. If you're missing a lot of stuff, you need to be on it, because I'm telling you, probably Monday, I'm finna take that day to just load up Aspen. Do not let me have to put in a failing grade for you guys, please. I have not given you anything super hard. If you feel overwhelmed by how much you got to catch up on, you need to be sending me a remind message saying, Ms. Payton, I promise I'm working on it. Just give me a little time. And you need to be steadily doing at least 1 or 2 or 3 assignments a day. I haven't given you anything. The hardest thing we probably had, I really don't think we've had anything hard. If you guys disagree, let me know. But I have people who still haven't done the flip grid where you say, hey, my name is so-and-so and I like chocolate. 3 seconds. I have people who still haven't done that if you haven't done the syllabus quiz. So make sure I put in a 0 for everything that you have not done. Any questions about homework?